Greetings everyone, my name is Napoleon Complex, welcome back to the campaign. Today we are going to be breaking the English blockade, securing the Isles and fixing our income. So I found someone to hold Wessex, which will be the most valuable of our provinces, and as I said before, we're also going to make this person the keeper of the royal household. So with Wessex giving us decent income, our economy is not actually looking too terrible. We're going to finish training up this Highland clansman, and then next turn we'll start building ships. Now, as for the economy, I do actually have some money available. We've got a copper mine here, and I'm going to try and focus on cheap economic buildings and improving my public order situation. And that means I'll be able to raise more tax income, because we are very close to rebellion right now. Now, we do need more troops, so I'm going to train some firemen here. And that'll do for now. Next turn. Right, let's look at this. What it looks like a very scary force, but let's look at what they're sending exactly. I don't have many cavalry, but I do have an extremely scary force of Scottish Highland clansmen. Now, they've got the cavalry, but that's about the only good unit they have. Beyond that, they've really only got some spearmen and some urban militia. I reckon that under the right circumstances, we could make a fighting chance of this, but we have to catch these cavalry in the forest. Well, it's raining. That works for us. This forest is rather small. It gives the enemy a lot of room to maneuver. This forest's maybe a little larger. It's about much of a muchness. And I don't think the one at the very back is actually on the map. Oh wait, no, hold on. I can use this. But it's not really on a slope, and I'm sure we'll end up fighting outside of the forest. Now I think this forest, despite its less than optimal status, is probably our best bet. Except, no, if the enemy climb up that hill, we'll be toast. We're going to have to make our stand around here. So position Highland clansmen up here, archers here, and I've got my small group of elite cavalry here. This is going to be a tough one, and a very, very important one, because if I lose, the campaign could end here. So the enemy are sending out scouts to look for us right now, and this works 100% in my favour. At least they're wasting time. But they are eventually going to work out where we are. Now, if we can shoot down their 2 Royal Knights before impact, that would be good. So there's the urban militia. The spearmen sprinting after them. Send our archers out of the forest for the moment. Because they can't actually shoot for the trees. That's what I was waiting for. Aim for those urban militia. They're not great. Let's see if I can cause some panic and tire them out further. And the great thing about small groups of knights like this is they're really easy to maneuver, so you can pull them out of combat. I said you can pull them out of combat. Come on, don't get yourself killed by an archer. Well, we want to wait for the enemy to be about here before we do anything. That wasn't worth it. I got my cavalry caught by the You guys can pull back now. Oh no, you don't. Don't even think about an anarchy charge. Still too soon. Alright. My knights are much better than their knights individually. You can see they're helping to hold the line, but this is going to be tough. We still look at the damage we've done to them though. So I messed up. I'm gonna fess up. I messed up by letting them come this far down. But despite that, it really depends whether or not we can now overcome this massive archers that's also attacking us. So the reason the enemy aren't routing easily is because they know they've got nowhere to retreat to, so they'll fight almost to the death. Which is obviously very bad for us, especially since we're still under archer fire. Now we've not even got the cover of the trees. Okay, my knight's trying to go down now as well. Uh-oh. Okay, we've almost destroyed their armies. If we can win this duel here, we might still flip it. Because killing a king causes a massive morale debuff. I think it was the archers that really spun it, that massive attack. There was just too many for my troops to overcome. Now, archers might not seem like much, but remember it's also an expert. Damn it. Back to the castle then, we'll think of something else. We've done a lot of damage to them at least. Oh. Sure. So the English have managed to attack us. And that is not good because next turn they'll be able to seize the province completely. So this, as I said, I think I mentioned it before that this is the hard part, actually holding. Britain. And this kind of situation, for example, is the perfect example. The English will relentlessly go after Scotland, but they'll also attack anywhere where you've left yourself less than defended as well. We can start to raise some income, and I do still have recruitment centres outside of Scotland, so we lose it, it's not necessarily the end of the world. It'll be a setback, but we can recover. I'm just looking at this. I mean, my army doesn't really exist anymore, but to be fair, neither does the English army. They've only really got these archers and this unit of Royal Knights left, but they could move reinforcements in from outside, and that's what I'm worried about. What I could do... Let's see. If they attack the castle this turn, with that kind of army, see, I reckon that if they attack the castle, they can win that fight, so I can't just stand around and not attack. We do actually have to sally out here. Okay, that's the situation, let's own it. So I've attacked during a heavy downpour, and that's obviously to minimise the impact of their superior ranged units. As we march, let's look at what resources I have, because it's not often you get to command a small force of specialists like this. These spearmen will be very good for assassinating the enemy king, because we don't really have that much else that's good against them. I've got some Highlanders, and they'll help the urban militia who otherwise aren't that reliable against the enemy archers. We have some archers who I suppose can do some sniping, but they're not really worth much. And I've got one very fragile hammer in the form of my general's bodyguard. Now, one 9 Valor Knight is not to be sniffed at this early on. But at the end of the day, he is just one man. He's not going to be winning the entire battle by himself. Okay, now the problem with the Highland clansmen is they are fast, and my urban militia aren't, so they're likely to get separated from the rest of the army. Since the cavalry aren't coming up, it looks like it's going to be the urban militia and the Highland clansmen who are going to lead the charge here. But I do see 25 archers who I think my general's bodyguard will be well suited to taking down. Run, don't want to give them too much chance to fire. Their arrows are going to be rather ineffective in the rain, but it's still urban militia. Their armour is terrible. I was getting a little bit worried about him going off on his own like that. Okay, hold the spearman back. Nope. The enemy spearmen don't get to fight my spearmen. I have something more appropriate in mind. Uh-oh. Okay, they're going to have to give their lives to slow the enemy down. Oh, they cut them at just the right angle. Okay, they're all going to die, but they're going to give their lives for a good cause. Lets the spearmen get in. But they're not going to be enough on their own, but as the enemies start to weaken, at this point just any combat strength I have remaining I want to throw in. I love small unit battles like this, when it's just a couple of specialists going up against one another. Right, hit one of them, get out of there, we're going to hit them again. Never mind. A horse, a kingdom for my horse. Just gonna get my general out there. Nearly lost him. Alright, as much as epic as a duel would be, I really don't want to lose Scotland. And losing your general is one of those things that can cause your entire army to rout, regardless of what else is happening. If we capture him and ransom him, our money woes are over. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to get away regardless of what we do. So I think we either just killed an English king, and possibly a prince, and got ourselves 10,000 florins. Yes! You know what? I'm actually going to go for that. In that case, I'm definitely not going to waste the breathing space. We are building a navy. So what I'm going to do in Wessex, I'm going to build a port, and then I'm going to go for a navy here as well. In Northumbria, we could do with some actual proper spearmen training. Our position is very far from guaranteed, but the fact that we've managed to secure a peace deal with England makes our position a lot safer. Of course, they could still attack us and break the alliance at any time, but we managed to get a marriage, which means that's less likely to happen. Obviously, still making sure I'm training lots of town militia, just to make sure. And there's plenty of reserve forces stationed in Northumbria and Mercia, just in case Wessex or Scotland come under attack. So there's not that much for me to talk about. I'm just going to keep building things until I get a navy out. Ha ha! I don't really see any need to give the Prince of Novgorod a claim to my lands. We have our first ship, and we also have our first potential target for that ship. I could go after Denmark now, but what I really want to do is take control of the channel, so we'll keep building ships for now, and hopefully I'll be able to extend my naval influence down to here, and then once I've got another ship here or a port here, and 2 ships here, then I can start operations on the continent. And now it's a crusade against the Genoese. I don't think there's been a regular crusade first, which means the first crusade has been against the Italians. Let's see, do I want to remain allied to the Venetians or the Germans? To be honest, if I attack someone, it's probably going to be the French, so I would actually like the alliance with the Germans. I'm going to build a shipwright in Wessex so we've got another source of naval production. On the major constructions front, I'm going to get a castle in Scotland, and that'll let me hopefully get some of Scotland's more formidable units. Oh, the Germans have gone to war with with Denmark. No, that gives me a bit of a casus belli. I'll take the alliance of no. Oh, it was the Norwegian. It was the Norwegians who attacked. Well, that's less of an opportunity. Well, the Germans have a bad habit of falling apart. Scandinavia is on my hit list. No, I think I'm going to remain allied with the Norwegians. I think my targets are on the continent because the continental possessions are more valuable. Scandinavia is tempting. Then again, Denmark's very wealthy. It's very wealthy, and I don't think it's going to be that hard a target. Sure, these landsmen are formidable, but I've got forces that can deal with them. And there's nothing. I'm about to get my second ship, and there's nothing guarding their capital right now. Well, I need to wait a turn anyway. Let's start to move my strongest forces into position for this. I love how that ransom is still paying for all of this economic development. Go for archers in Wales. So these 3 units of Viking landsmen are superior to any of my forces in a one-on-one battle. But if we add cavalry crashing into their backs, plus I've got some really good heirs with who have some really good battle prowess. So they're going to form the core of my army. I'll bring 3 units of Fyrd, and the famous English longbowmen are going to be making the journey as well. Welsh longbowmen. So that's the force that's coming from my possessions in Wessex. And the Danes have been pushed out of Denmark. We just took the province without a fight. And the King of Sweden's cancelled the alliance with the Danes. And so has the Norwegians. And everyone's abandoning the Danes. Okay, so I'm now in full possession of Denmark, and it's loyal to me. But what I don't actually know what the Danes have. Obviously the first thing we should do is build some watchtowers, because I think due to the land bridge, we'll be able to see. Archers and town militia, let's get numbers on our side. I can stop being quite so paranoid about leaving lots of troops lying around the islands, just in case an invasion force shows up. Because we control the English Channel now, or at least we have a presence there, so I'll get some warning if something's up. To make this nobody than the Jarl of Denmark, but at least he's good at his job. It doesn't make us as much money because they had a genius running the place. We can train Viking units. We can train Viking landsmen. Well, they're very good troops, but I think we need to... Denmark's port is... Denmark doesn't have a port yet, which means we can't get back home. What's public order like? Okay, at least... Okay. That means that after we get the watchtowers up, building a port is priority number 1. And I'll build a bark. Because the real danger is that the Danish Navy could cut us off. And there comes the counterattack. Right. So lots of princes. Then we've got Vikings as well. This is a dangerous force. What's our so I've definitely got the advantage in cavalry. But they've got the advantage in infantry. Right. The longbowmen are going to have to do some work in melee. A fact which makes me understandably nervous. If we can kill their king, that will be a huge help. Didn't think they deployed that close to us. Oh god, what is it with medieval knife point deployments? Go, go, go. We have to win the cavalry battle here. Okay, they've just opened their flanks. Right around them. Those spearmen. Shoot, that's not what we want to ride into. Right. Of course, the first thing our general does is get himself buried in a ton of spearmen. It's not spearmen, he's been caught by cavalry. I think we're winning. Those spearmen are wobbling. We lost most of the armoured knights there. Not a good fight for a small group of knights. Pull out. We've lost on the side. Okay, come on, come on. What do we have left? Right, pull these lines together. We've one over here. Where are they? Are they withdrawing? I think they're withdrawing. Attack! Okay, that was a very close battle. And it's not over yet. I probably lost some princes in that fight. Okay. Leave the Royal Knights to pursue, get the Scottish Cavalry after something else. I can't believe we won that. Sorry about my lack of commentary, I was sweating bullets during that attack. Overseas expeditions are always risky and I had to attack somewhere, but I thought we were going to lose. I thought that landsman attack would just shatter my front line. Thankfully my cavalry were up to the task. Yeah, they're not getting those soldiers back. Let's see our heirs list. Yeah, we've definitely lost a few heirs. I think they lost 2 princes in that battle. And they've still got forces that can harass us. Let's see what they've got. Well, they've got the king, whose bodyguard will regenerate, and they've also got Prince Cnud. And they've got 3 units of Vikings. What do I have left? I've got only 1 unit of the Ford survived that battle. I've still got the fierce Scottish cavalry. They were a really good investment. Still got most of my archers. Yeah, we need reinforcements. What we need is more infantry. I'd rather not risk any more of my princes, Frank. Thank you very much. I can send the Fard over to reinforce us. We'll have 2 ships next turn, and that will help our position. Okay, I have just as many infantry, far stronger cavalry, and archers supporting my attack. There's no reason other than cowardice not to now take the fight to Scania itself. Looks like a cakewalk on paper, but those Vikings are still fierce opponents. So this is where it ends. The Danish forces there. All that's left is for us to defeat them. I see the weather predictions lied again. To be fair, medieval weather predictions probably weren't very accurate. Seeing the way the enemy have deployed their cavalry, I'm actually going to take all of my cavalry over to one flank. We're going to try and get around the back of the enemy and harass them from there. I'm going to wait until this driving rain wears off. Advance a moderate distance towards the enemy line. Ideally into longbow shot. Sometimes it's easier just to tell everyone to stop. Right. Right, hold on. I think I see an opportunity here. So the idea was to use this group as a flanking force, but... oh, come on, they can't fall back quickly. This is going to be one of these feints that ends up... skirmishes that ends up just defining the entire battle. Okay, go! Archers, just try and get into shot of those Royal Knights. Time to go. Yikes, okay. We won, but our cavalry kind of took a knock from it. Keep going. I am 100% confident in our victory. I am absolutely terrified. You've got to be kidding me. It's 3 Vikings. Those are spearmen. Get into the back of the enemy king. What are you lot doing? Get into the fight! You know what? I fancy a duel. You guys are as likely to kill your own men as you are the enemy. Fire into these spearmen instead, they're quite exposed. Well, clearly we were the better knights. Okay, we've won. There were some nail-biting moments, but we won. Again, I really don't think the archers are adding anything to this. They actually managed to shoot my bodyguard. I don't know how they were overshooting that badly. Just leave formation and kill them. I shouldn't be doing this.
Enemy king lies dead, a noble man making a good end.
Scania is ours, and we're one step closer to world domination. Oh, well, except for the siege. Right, that seems as good a place as any to stop. I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one, and if you enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing. Farewell.